Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Got ravaged by my wife's continuous emotional cheating. Need support. Hey folks, I've been lurking here for some time looking for advice and following stories to see how they develop. Well, decided to share my own, hoping someone who is in similar shoes can pick up on things I kept my eyes closed to. My story definitely pales compared to some other poor souls here. We don't have kids, just a dog and a vehicle together. I, 30 meters, have been married to 23F for almost 3 years. It's been mostly great with some downs. We traveled extensively and made so many great memories. My wife was working at a coffee shop before the pandemic and she met her AP there about a year and a half ago. He was a customer and from what I've unearthed, I don't have tangible reasons to believe anything serious was going on back then, probably some flirting. I guess this seems serious now. They did exchange social media, Instagram, and kept minimal contact, probably texting once every couple months. I had no reason to suspect anything at this point. I should mention that we were on the road traveling with the idea to move to a different state. They didn't have physical contact. Fast forward to mid-February, they are texting more often and he gives her his phone number, saying he's there if she needs to talk. Seems like this is when the emotional affair began as she took him up on the offer and saved his number under a false name of a girl co-worker I knew. In the next couple days the texting intensifies and things are off between us. She's extremely sour. It didn't make sense why. On 2 occasions, I've been lied to that she's calling her parents and goes away for an hour. I got suspicious as she usually doesn't have a reason to leave my presence to talk to them. I pulled up the call history from our shared phone bill and the number didn't match. That's when I decided to go through her phone and discovered the Instagram messages and everything thereafter. I was in complete shock. Took some screenshots and confronted her in the morning. Mind you, we signed a year-long lease right before this whole thing came out. For the next few days I did the pick-me dance and was met with a whole lot of gaslighting, how bad she's been feeling and how I wasn't really there for her. None of that excuse is emotional cheating and I knew that back then. When I try to set some basic boundaries she pushes back. It was so hard to let go of her, so naturally I was looking for options to keep her and fight for our marriage. After all, it's not like they've slept. I recognized some of my shortcomings and decided that I can work on myself and support her more. We moved into the apartment and spent thousands on furniture, all the while I couldn't trust her. I kept demanding to check her phone and for the next 2 weeks I found on 5 to 6 occasions that she's either unblocked him or she's put WhatsApp so that she doesn't leave a trace on the phone bill. We go through those episodes every 3 days, and after every time I'm more broken. At one point, I spent a whole day in bed without eating at all. She keeps convincing me we can heal, stupid me. At one point after we've made up again, she tells me that she doesn't see us being together forever. Thanks for the honesty, but why do you keep wasting my time then? I guess a little more story wouldn't hurt, and if someone made it that far, they deserve to get the dessert. I was supposed to go to a meeting one day and left the house. Checking my phone, the meeting's been cancelled, so I head back. I was gone for 15 minutes, but I had a hunch that I have to check the phone again. She unblocked and texted him. At this point I'm ready to call it quits. I'm hanging in the house for the next 2 days cause I got nowhere else to go. Was a reckoned obviously she felt bad about me. On the second day of me sleeping on the couch, she comes in the morning with proof she finally made some kind of effort without me asking her. She texted him that she can't handle the shame and guilt and he shouldn't be texting her anymore. She shows me that and we make up again. She deleted the WhatsApp again and for the next 2 days it was a real sense of normalcy and I got what I actually needed. She put some effort into this. Well, on the 3rd day, I decided to walk the dog but was also paranoid. I put WhatsApp on my phone and stalk her online status. I'm not even 5 minutes out of the house and she's on. And that was it, folks. I slept in my van that night, we spoke in the morning. I didn't get any sensible answers. She finally said she had feelings for him. I put my essentials in the van and left her. She begged me to go back, but now it's been 4 days and I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm really lonely and have been crying sporadically. I had a weak moment today and contacted her. It was so stupid, now the wound is fresh again. I'm divorcing her but don't want to get lawyers involved for financial reasons. I've been on Chumplady and that's a great resource. I'm having trouble sleeping and eating regularly, but I work out and stay hydrated. I hope to feel better soon. This shit sucks. Thanks for reading, I just had to get it off my chest. Peace and good luck, people. Take care of yourselves. Nobody else will. Sorry man. Once trust is broken, it is a very unlikely battle to try to stay, so your choice is likely for the best. Hate to say it, but there is likely much more to her story and actions than you know. Stay strong. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I'm not willing to live my life looking behind my shoulder every hour of every day. If only more were as strong and determined. Good for you and best of luck. Yes, it hurts having to cut the cancer out and no anesthesia. Don't do much chemotherapy. EAs are hard to deal with. Physical separations can't stop it. The only way, and I mean it when I say the only way, is to leave them. Leaving them leads to two possible options. Either they get out of the fog or they don't. Regardless if they do or don't, the damage has already been done. The trust will never be there. I'm not going to say look at the bright side. There's none really when it comes to cheating. You did right putting thousands of miles between you and her. Take a year or two and heal up. Find another at 32. You will be fine. You won't see it now, but you will be okay. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Where things are headed, I don't think there will be getting out of the fog moment. Thank you so much. I needed to hear this comment plus hear the ops story. I've been going through a similar scenario, 30F, with my boyfriend of 2 years, 29 meters, as the one who is being dishonest. Sometimes we need to hear someone else's story and see it without rose-colored glasses to realize what's happening so close to home isn't okay. I've been trying to ignore the fact that he keeps downloading apps we've discussed weren't appropriate if he couldn't hold himself back, and I'm starting to see that's worse because then he specifically knows it's not okay, knows and understands the risk that he's taking to still continue talking to females he shouldn't be while in a relationship, yet he does it again anyway. That's a conscious decision to not respect the relationship or me. I should have seen those signs and listened to my gut initially. But I just wanted it to not be happening and pretend it wasn't a big deal to continue living a normal life together. Yet, that's clearly not an option unless he does something dramatic to show me it's done. He's a changed man, and that won't happen, I'm sensing now, unless he does actually lose me/our relationship because he thinks he can have his cake and eat it too. And if he doesn't change, shame on him. But at least I wouldn't constantly be feeling like I can't trust him. Thank you for the post/comments and words of encouragement that we are each worthy of being loved and respected in a relationship where we are our person's only person. One day I hope to be there, myself. When you said that she told you that she doesn't see you together forever, that was the death blow. Her mind was made up. Sooner or later, she was going to leave you, whether it was over this guy, or someone else, or nothing else. No matter what, forgive her but don't forget, and don't reconcile. If she comes back and begs to reconcile, tell her you don't hate her and you wish her well, and you hope she finds happiness, but that happiness will not be found with you. It's over and done and nothing can change that, and you will not take her back. Sorry you're going through this, it's the shittiest club to be a part of. I'm only 4 weeks out, so nowhere close to being healed, but I will say that it has gotten a bit easier this time. Going no contact, or as limited contact as humanly possible, helps tremendously. Once you get hungry, because you will, treat yourself to whatever sounds good. I also started taking melatonin to sleep, which has been helpful. Thank you for your kind words. It really is the shittiest club to be a part of, but I highly value all the good people here who are giving great advice and offer support. Stay strong for yourself, and happiness is somewhere down the path after this storm. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you're in that van on the proverbial road to recovery. You couldn't heal while still with her. It was clear she cannot let him go. So you will have bad moments like today and contact her and regret it later. Don't beat yourself up about it. Force yourself to eat. Get medicine to help sleep if you need it. But keep the distance. Keep reading Chump Lady and working out. Keep doing everything else you are doing. It's the right approach, and with time, it'll begin to hurt less and less. Thank you for your encouragement. I like how you say that moments of weakness will occur. Setting up expectations straight. Oh man. Commitment, loyalty and honesty. Why are we asking so much? We aren't. And that's the part where our people who we trusted to treat us with the minimum levels of respect showed us that for them, committing to a relationship was too much, apparently. Man, you are strong to leave when you did. You're doing the hard thing now because you know it will be better for you in the long run. And I know it's a cold comfort, but I really admire you for having the strength to say no, I deserve better than this. Staying true to yourself now will help your healing in the future. Better days are coming for you, man, just keep holding on for them. Thanks buddy, at some point you have to take your strength back. Something I read recently, your inability to take action created my necessity to take action. I agree, and physically distancing himself from her was a great idea too. Gave him a chance to get a little clarity on the situation by not being mired in it 24/7. Too bad his wife is so deeply into that affair fog. I don't even know if divorce papers will shake her out of it. I suggest going forward with those divorce papers as soon as possible. Whether or not she gets out of the fog, your life will start to heal from that moment. You're spot on about being deep in the fog. I kept hoping for a genuine loving phone call saying she's broken it with him for good. And I know that that might be another lie. I'm just so desperate and weak. It's pathetic. My friend, you are not desperate, weak, or pathetic. The fact that you are grieving and hoping as hard as you are shows the depth of your love. It sucks it wasn't reciprocated, but it sounds like she doesn't deserve it. But don't think there is anything wrong with you for desperately trying to fix what's been shattered. It's human. And it's okay. No man, you are neither desperate or weak. You are however hurting, and that only goes to show just how much you loved and cared for this woman. Her coldness and disrespect for you shows just the opposite on her end. Move fast while she is still in the fog. You want to get this behind you so that you can start to heal and meet that someone new, or not, and begin the next phase of your life. Your new normal is just around the corner. If she wanted reconciliation, the number one item on the list of to-dos is, stop all contact with the AP, she obviously wasn't going to do that. Not sure where you are, but most times residency needs to be established for divorce. If you both really have no property or kids, you can download the documents from $200 and file them with the court. Again, you need to establish residency and do it in that jurisdiction. Also, doing that, having her sign off on the paperwork, she might then want to restart reconciliation, which is completely up to you, but I would establish some clear boundaries which would include an open phone policy and more. She was married, there is no reason to flirt, communicate with another man, she was to continue to do that with you. If you can, go see a therapist about all this too. It's betrayal, it is traumatic, working through the emotions can be very hard. Above all, this isn't your fault. Nothing you did or didn't do or fell short of is a reason for her to cheat. Sound advice here about the residency. Yeah, all the times we've given it another go, my one and only thing was to cut him off. She threw some sand in my eyes for the time being, and as soon as I wasn't around she was on the chat again. Reconciliation seems so far out of this realm at this point. Update, got ravaged by my wife's continuous emotional cheating. Update. Last post. Hello fellow broken souls, figured I would like to give an update on my situation. It's now been over 4 months since D-Day and about 3 months since I left. If you read my last post, you know that I left my STBXW for 2 weeks so I can clear my head. Upon returning to our apartment with the pretext of picking up some of my furniture, we started discussing what should we do. The first thing I noticed was that she had taken off her ring. At this time, I was able to get on her phone and witnessed a 2-week-long conversation between her and AP. My heart stiffened. They were developing a relationship, watching movies, exchanging letters/postcards, and had made plans to meet. I can really expand on the hurtful remarks they were discussing regarding me, but I don't think it's conducive to the main topic. This post is about me and how I am dealing with my pain. I decided this is all I needed to know and printed the divorce papers. We filled them out and I left shortly after. I took the dog, as she said she's not fit to be a dog parent. Couldn't agree more and wouldn't pass up the opportunity to take my child. I went back to the town we moved to together 2 years ago. I didn't want to do it, but it was my best choice as I had a good friend there who provided a supportive environment. It got better for a while. I spent 2 months there. I tried dating and went out with some women, but it became clear that I wasn't ready to move on just yet. I think it still helped me in a way, as I realized that even in my broken state I was able to talk to and attract potential partners. This gave me a much-needed boost to my self-esteem. I decided to stop dating as I felt bad for leading people on. I don't feel ready for another relationship. I picked up some hobbies, one completely new and one other that I haven't dabbled in over 5 years. This also helped to take my mind off the trauma. I tried to take care of myself and made a routine where I'd cook myself 2 meals a day. Not every day, but most. I made some new friends. AP was also living in town, and lo and behold, she moved back to live with her mother so that she could close the gap. Got back to the same deadbeat job she met AP at. I decided I wouldn't bear the chance of seeing them together on the street. I've already struggled to suppress my hateful thoughts of getting revenge. So I had to move on, to some new place. This is also something that helped my psyche, make plans of my own, not take anyone else in consideration. It was a liberating feeling. I spent a long time strategizing where I want to settle down and did extensive research. I decided to get on the road again and visit some national parks along the way and move to my city of choice. Well, here's the kicker. As soon as I left I felt this immense loneliness. More lonely than when I went away for 2 weeks back in April. I couldn't lean on my family and friends anymore, well, at least not as much. It's been 4 months and I feel like people are getting tired of my shit. So I bottled it up. I kept doing my hobbies, but again the loneliness kind of trumped all the progress. It's been really tough. I visited such beautiful places and it's been a painful reminder of what could have been if I had a partner to share the moments with. I try to engage with people around me. Many times when I see lovely couples my tears come up. It's a strange feeling. I am happy for them. And I'm sad about myself. Sometimes in the evening I just hug my dog, talk to him and cry. He licks my tears. Days are empty. I find myself sometimes just existing. I have no desire to do anything. I tried reading and I can't focus. In many ways I feel like I've regressed. Then I remind myself that healing is a non-linear process. I know it's temporary and time heals, but that just doesn't keep me afloat. I'm in a pickle. I want to heal myself by myself. I've always done things by myself and this is no different. I know that once I'm past this pain I will come out the other end a refined and stronger person. I look forward to this day. I think you have moved on from her but not moved on from the feeling of being with someone. The loneliness is getting to you? Have you given dating casually or even seriously but taking your time? Explain to the person. Another thought? Loneliness is definitely onto me. Spot on about not having moved on from the feeling of being with someone. I miss that. I haven't completely given up on dating, but I'm not actively searching for someone. Thank you for your suggestions. I get the desire to deal with this on your own. But loneliness and isolation just feed depression. Are you engaging in any social hobbies? Not necessarily dating, but just going out and meeting people, doing activities with others. You don't want to become over-reliant on others, i.e. codependent, but social support is so good for mental health. I'm almost 4 months since D-Day, living alone for the first time ever. I did keep our 2 dogs who also love to lick tears. One of the things that has really kept me feeling good is an active social life, and this is coming from someone who is naturally very introverted. Hey Repeat, I understand what you're saying about isolation. I did mention earlier that I spent 2 months in a very social environment and it felt great. However, I am in a transition right now and socializing feels unnatural. I plan to engage in some meetups once I'm settled in my new place. I hope you're doing all right. Thank you for your suggestions and support. Of course. And yeah, I imagine it feels unnatural. But sometimes unnatural is exactly what we need. Especially when depressed, where the things that feel best in the moment can make it worse. But I understand wanting to get used to your new environment before becoming social again. Smile, wishing you all the best. Have you considered seeking professional help? Or even talking to a priest? Even if you are not religious, the process of talking things out helps a lot. I've thought about therapy, but at the moment it's financially impossible for me. I may consider your other suggestion as I'm yearning for someone who can bear with my pain. Thank you for your suggestions. I think that you should re-enter the dating scene sooner than later. Not everyone is looking for their forever when they are on these dating apps, and as long as you are honest with potential partners, I think you will be okay. You may find a few FWBs, you never know. Lol. Glad you got to keep the dog. At least they love you unconditionally, lol. You are correct, healing is a non-linear process and you will get through this. Also, I applaud you for being proactive in your healing. Keep doing what you are doing and moving forward. Time will take care of the rest. You're only 30 for God's sake, lol. As far as age goes, I think it is clear that your STBX, 23, was not emotionally and intellectually mature enough to handle a loving, long-term relationship, not to mention the integrity needed to sustain a relationship. I read somewhere that the human brain doesn't fully mature until around age 25 to 26, Also, some people are more in love with the idea of marriage than the reality of it. Thank you for the update. I'm rooting for you. Please take care and embrace this next phase of your life. Like so many BSs on these forums, in a few years you will look back on this time and be thankful and grateful for the new life that you now have because of all you went through. Best of luck and keep us updated on your progress. Thank you for the encouragement. You are correct about her not being emotionally intellectually mature enough. But she fooled me so well. I hate the feeling of being the training grounds for her next relationships. One of my biggest gripes was that over a year ago, while I was working on our dream, a camper van, she was flirting with this guy. She used me. You may think she used you, possible covert narcissist. But who's the real fool? Anyway, what did you really lose? An emotionally stunted, immature cheater who's bound to repeat her behavior. I am curious, you said she works or worked at a coffee shop and that you two did a lot of traveling. Were you the breadwinner in the marriage? Do you know what AP does for a living? Will her financial situation change after the divorce? Also, not that it should matter to you either way, the odds are against them. Like the saying goes, if they cheat with you they will cheat on you. Oto, if they happen to be soulmates and live happily ever after, so what? Lol. Wish them all the happiness that they deserve and keep moving on. Be glad you got out relatively unscathed. Things could have been worse, you could have had kids with her. Best of luck, man. Well, I'd say that we both contributed about the same. My last job was retail and I have been unemployed for some time. As far as I know, AP looks better on paper. In his texts he even brags how his family never had money problems. I guess that might be part of the reason she monkey branched. Honestly, I've been trying to understand her actions and I just can't. I wish I could give her forgiveness, but don't think I'll ever be able to. The hatred is real. Yeah, that puts the monkey branching into perspective, but speaking of monkeys, not your circus, not your monkeys, as they say. Stop trying to understand her actions and simply accept that they happened and you can't change them. It is what it is. Check out the concept of radical acceptance online. It will really help you. Forgive for yourself, so that you can move on. You can forgive, but you will never forget. Also, it's okay to forgive someone yet not F with them, if you know what I mean. Hate will only eat you up while she isn't even thinking about you. Ruminating about her and the relationship is not healthy. Mourn the relationship and the person you once loved. She doesn't exist anymore, but then move on. I'm glad that you took the initiative to move away, out of sight, out of mind. Keep pushing forward. Remember, a life well lived is the best revenge. Best of luck and keep us updated. You'll need to accept your loneliness, and by that I don't mean dwell on the past, unable to move on, but accept that it's a temporary situation. You'll need to become comfortable with solitude. You can do that by learning new stuff that interests you. Once you're through that, you need to accept what happened as an anomaly and build hope of a brighter future. How you do that is entirely dependent on your goals. Remember, time heals all wounds and the strongest steel is forged in the highest heat. Don't touch alcohol to numb yourself up. Let yourself feel your emotions. Use music if you have to. Once you're healed and don't feel the sorrow anymore, pour yourself a glass and celebrate it. Then go ahead and look for someone to be with again. Good luck. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate your words. It rings wisdom, and I hope one day soon enough I will pour that celebratory glass. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.